Arrieta has arrived, and with performances like yesterday's, making a strong case for the top of the Cubs rotation. Kyle Hendricks is here too as he goes for his 4th straight win today in the Big Apple.
More postcard weather here in New York as Comcast Sportsnet brings you a Monday matinee of Chicago Cubs baseball. These two teams wrap up the season series, the Cubs and the Mets, in Game 4 of this wraparound set. Great to have you with us. Jim Deshaies and Len Casper with you. The Cubs a 2-1 winner on Starlin Castro's homer yesterday. Jake Arrieta got a no decision, but man, did he pitch well enough to win.
Indeed, he did. He's done that just about every time he's gotten to the mound so far this year. Let's take a look back at yesterday. Jake Arrieta leaning heavily on the curveball yesterday. 9 strikeouts for Arrieta, and that curveball was a great weapon for him all day long. 7 innings, 2 hits, no runs, a couple of walks, punched out 9. And Jake Arrieta continuing his mastery of National League hitters.
Starlin Castro has been doing it all. Recently had a 14-game hitting streak. His contact skills off the charts. Some good defense yesterday, too.
Yeah, this one he's leaking a little bit on the ball's out away from him, but he punches a base hit into center field. Huge play here. Runners on first and third. Big double play to get out of a potential run-scoring inning for the Mets. And then, of course, first pitch he sees leading off the 9th inning, he goes deep the other way. So a guy who struggled in July, hit just 220-something in the month of July, has really turned things around, hitting 400 in August.
And 832 career hits. He's only 24 years old. So let's look ahead to today. Another 24-year-old named Kyle Hendricks will go for his 4th win here this month.
Yeah, this kid has been so impressive. Our lows never stop improving. We take a look at Kyle Hendricks' last 3 games. Won them all with a 1.21 ERA. The opponents in those games, L.A., Milwaukee, and Colorado, all 3 of those clubs top 5 in the National League in run scoring.
So he'll face the Mets for the first time this season, as the Cubs will play the Mets for the final time. And they've got an emergency starter. We'll tell you about that and get you set for the first pitch from New York next.
Area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, through it all. AT&T Uverse. Find out what's possible with AT&T. Call 1-800-PIC-ATT. Mobilizing your world. Ford. Check out America's freshest lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com.
Welcome back to New York. Yeah, getting near lunchtime.
I'm gonna wait.
Sausage.
Want
some peppers on that?
I want to chew some gum after eating that.
Forget about it.
It is Military Monday here in New York. The Mets salute U.S. service men and women. So they're wearing the camouflage jerseys today, and they have given out more than 5,000 tickets to military personnel and their families through the Wounded Warrior Project, the USO, and other great organizations as well. Bartolo Colon was supposed to start this game today. However, his mother is very ill back in the Dominican Republic, so he had to fly home today. And we found out a couple of hours ago, the Cubs found out too, that they're going to face Carlos Torres, who actually faced two batters yesterday. So JD, for only the fourth time in the history of the New York Mets, a starting pitcher will work on 0 days rest.
And Torres, a guy who's worked exclusively out of the bullpen this year. He has been a starter at times in his career before, made 9 starts last year, and he's had a couple extended outings out of the bullpen this year, 4+ innings. But that's going to be the big question for Terry Collins is, how much is he going to be able to get out of Carlos Torres today? And that coupled with the fact that because he's starting, there are guys short out there in the bullpen, it's going to tie Collins' hands a little bit.
Their AAA club, Las Vegas, is in Omaha, Nebraska. There was just not enough time this morning to get another pitcher here with this early start. So Colon will be placed on the bereavement list tomorrow, and they will bring up somebody probably to help out in their bullpen. So as he gets loose, let's check out the Cubs Southwest starting lineup. Arizmendi Alcantara will move up and lead off today with Chris Coghlan getting the day off. Baez, 2 walks yesterday, first 2 of his young career. Rizzo, Castro, the game-winning homer. Luis Valbuena's in at third. Justin Ruggiano and Wellington Castillo both homered on Saturday night. Matt Caesar gets his first major league start after his debut yesterday with pitcher Kyle Hendricks batting ninth.
Mets defense brought to you by Kia. Den Decker, Lagares, and the Grandy Man in the outfield. Right back in there. He was off yesterday. Same for Flores. Murphy and Duda on the right side. Darno behind the plate. Lexus starting pitcher is, as we mentioned, a reliever, Carlos Torres.
Playing starter today, and we are underway. 76 degrees here in New York.
Not shabby. 5-5 out of the bullpen this year with a 3.68 ERA. The home run's been an issue. You see 10 long balls allowed for him, and a number of those coming in his recent outings.
Sinker for a strike. If today's Cubs leadoff hitter gets a hit, Benny's Beverage Depot will donate $100 to JDRF. 9th time Alcantara has been in the leadoff spot, called strike 3 for out number 1.
Yeah, Ricky talking about Alcantara earlier today and actually over the last few days, making the point that he's just caught in between. He's been fooled by a lot of off-speed pitches, and he's not able to pull the trigger on the fastball. And he's going through a real rough stretch here. Just has to kind of hang in there, stay tough, realize that it's likely going to get better.
Good to see a little separation between the batting average and the OBP for Baez, who swings over the top of a curveball after his 2 walks yesterday.
Yeah, here's a scouting report on Torres. Been there, done that, in that he has been a starter in the past. I referenced the long ball issues. And there you see the repertoire: fastball, cutter, curve, and change. Good life on the fastball. That one at 93. 6 home runs in his last 11 2/3 innings out of the pen.
He got his first major league win at Wrigley Field with the White Sox back on September 3rd of 2009. It was his third major league start, 7 shutout innings. Born in Santa Cruz, California, bounced around in college, ended up at Kansas State as Baez strikes out.
Well, he's off to a fine start here this afternoon. Got Alcantara looking, and now a cut fastball. It's a swing and miss from Baez.
Adrian Johnson calling balls and strikes. The crew chief is Greg Gibson. Cuzzy and Little at second and third, so everybody's had a chance to work every position in this 4-game series. This is the third straight wraparound series for the Mets, meaning Friday through Monday.
If you were an umpire scout or evaluator, this would have been a good series to come to, because you'd see them work everywhere on the diamond.
Inside on Rizzo. He's had a rough weekend at the plate. He's 0 for 10 in the series. He's walked twice and he knocked in a run on a ground out. Torres is not taking much time, is he?
No, he's not. Really setting the pace here. Rizzo's been seeing a lot of hard stuff in this series.
Stuff looks pretty sharp from the right-hander so far.
Well, you see it a lot, right? Don't you? When a guy comes to the ballpark, maybe, you know, they might have gotten a hold of him last night or early this morning. I'm not sure when it all went down with Colon having to leave. But the guy that gets the emergency notice, hey, you're starting today. And many times, it seems, the guy steps up and has a big day.
3-2 swing and a miss on the cutter. So Torres strikes out the side. Kyle Hendricks to the Citi Field mound when we come back. As young Kyle Hendricks working on a perfect month of August, and he'll battle this Mets Southwest starting lineup written out by Terry Collins. Granderson tied the game late last night, but by and large has had a really tough month of August. Murphy has had a quiet series. David Wright out of the lineup yesterday after getting hit by a pitch Saturday. Back in there today. Duda, Darno, Dendecker, the D-men in the middle. Juan Lagares is in center field. Wilmer Flores at short, and Carlos Torres, the pitcher.
How about the key in defense for the Cubs this afternoon? Matt Caesar gets his first big league start. He'll be in left. Alcantara made a real nice play in center field yesterday. Justin Ruggiano, the right fielder, this afternoon. Valbuena, Castro, Baez, and Rizzo. Third to first. Wellington Castillo behind the plate. And Kyle Hendricks is our Lexus starting pitcher for the Cubs this afternoon. And boy, what a start to his major league career he has had. It's been impressive every time he's gone out there. 6 starts now, 4-1. with a 173 earned run average. And tough on both right and left-handed hitters, has excellent command. It's just been fun to watch him pitch.
Facing Curtis Granderson, and outside ball 1. I would encourage you to go to CSNChicago.com and check out Patrick Mooney's piece. He had a long conversation with Granderson about the Jackie Robinson West Little League team. Left field Caesar will make the play.
I always find a new guy.
Jackie Robinson team will play tonight. And after a loss yesterday, they don't have any more margin for error in the Little League World Series. Granderson, a big supporter, and a lot of other major league players have supported the team and rooting for them to win it all. Murphy fouls back. 1 for 12 this weekend. He is the National League hit leader with 151. 33 doubles, puts him in the top 4 in the National League. Sinker outside at 87.
Take a look at a scouting report on Kyle Hendricks. Yeah, first look for the Mets against him, so that should play to his advantage. He is a pitch maker. You want it up, in, out, down, wherever he's going to get it there. And with a nod towards Alfred E. Newman. What me worry? Showing the composure of a 10-year veteran out there. Pretty impressive stuff for the young right-hander.
Love the quote in the Cubs.com preview today. I just try to sear the game plan into my mind by watching a ton of video. He really treats each start like he's studying for an exam, and kind of feels like once it's, quote, seared into his brain, then doesn't have to think too much about it and can work quickly like we've seen. Oh, yeah. That's the changeup.
Yeah, and that's his best pitch, and he complements it nicely with a cutter that he'll throw in. So he'll throw that cutter in to speed him up, the left-handed hitters, and then he'll just abuse him with the changeup. You get a good look at the grip there. Throws it on the plate, and it just fades down below the knees. Just kind of tickling that outside corner.
There's David Wright. Got hit in the back of the left shoulder on Saturday by a Dan Straley pitch, and that re-aggravated a pre-existing injury that had been bothering him for a bit. He swings away and sends it out into center. What's the line? What me worry?
What me worry?
Didn't even need 10 pitches to navigate his way through the first.
Visit WrigleyField100.com, and there you'll see all the planned festivities. The Giants and the Orioles in town for 6. Tickets are still available, and really focusing on that weekend set with the Orioles. Tickets can be had at Cubs CHN.com.
Starter with a quick 1-2-3 first inning. Torres needed 14 pitches, picked up 3 strikeouts.
Yeah, well, good work by Torres, and a continuing problem here for the Cubs. They've been swinging and missing at an alarming rate here over the last 10 days or so.
Castro held up. Hendricks needed just 8 pitches. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. I guess Chris Coghlan, out of the lineup, he's got a sore toe on his left foot. I'm assuming, I didn't ask him, that it's related to the stubbing incident. He kicked his suitcase when we were in Denver. But yeah, he seemed to be walking a little cautiously yesterday. So on the bench to start it. The little nagging injuries seem to really pile up around this time of the year, don't they?
Well, and the hands and feet, right? It's such a big part of the game. If you can't run, I mean, it sounds kind of silly. I got to, stub my toe, but if you can't run, it's hard to play. And if you got a bad, broken finger.
That is lofted fair right down the left field line. Castro halfway to second will put on the brakes. Leadoff single.
Seemed like that'd be a double off the bat. Reaches out and just lofts it down that left field line. Decker in hot pursuit. Ball took a big bounce. Greens are really firm here today. Might not have been the green though. It was the brown. The browns are really firm. And then Decker gets to it before it gets to the wall, and that was the key. Astros thinking too. He's going hard down the line.
But in on Valbuena, he was a little under the weather, scuffling at the plate, so he got a couple of starts off to begin this series. But back in there yesterday, had a go-ahead RBI single in the 4th. He's just 2 for his last 35. The pitch by Torres misses. 2 balls, no strikes. First start for Torres since late September of last year. He has struggled lately out of the bullpen, giving up a bunch of home runs. 2-1.
Well, Mets are playing for 2 in the middle. Gives them a little room to operate on the right side. If you pull one, exploit that hole. Torres trying to prevent that by working away with a 2-seamer.
Yeah, Murphy, kind of an interesting spot. He's not all the way in. He's not quite at double play depth. He's a little closer than what you'd normally see at double play depth.
I can't see him. He's camouflaged. The Mets should be able to steal a lot of bases today.
They look a little shallow for double play depth.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Three balls, 2 strikes. Castro takes off for second, and Valbuena fouls.
Of course he does.
As most guys do on 3-2. According to you.
Yeah. It was my old neighbor in Texas that pointed that out to me years ago. Situation, you're trusting Valbuena either to put the ball in play or take a walk on 3-2. He's really good at the latter. He's patient. He works a lot of walks. There has to be some amount of fear of the swing and miss, having punched out the side in the first.
Castro runs again, and Valbuena fouls yet again.
And that's why, with a right-handed pitcher on the mound, an old school way of teaching this play, whether it's a hit and run or you're going on 3-2, is you don't have to get a great jump. The burden's on the hitter to either put the ball in play or take the walk. For me, I think it should be treat it like you're trying to steal the base in case the guy swings and misses, especially with a right. If you got a lefty on the mound, you don't want to get picked off. I get it.
Castro not running as Valbuena sends a fly to Lagares for out number 1. Giano with a long home run in game 2. That was Saturday night, just to the left of straightaway center. Cutter misses, ball 1. Here it is. Only bad thing about the homer is a young fan tried to catch it and kind of missed the glove.
Yeah, they'd been working him up in the zone all night long, and they had some success up there until that one, and he blistered it.
His 5th of the season. Really good cutter. 1-1.
Justin, a .293 hitter in this ballpark in his career.
High and pretty deep, but going to stay in. Dendecker battling the sun. You see the shadows, his shadow right directly behind him. So that is the bad sun field right now. And again, we're starting just after noon local time.
Yeah, that one might have been worth tagging up on. I don't think you would try to get to second base on that ball, but once it's at that high and you know an outfielder's going to settle under it, might be worth tagging up, and maybe you can catch him unawares, at least draw a throw. Perhaps it would be an errant throw. I guess the other thinking too is when the guy's battling the sun like that, there is a chance for a misplay. But how often do you see a major league outfielder miss a ball like that? Once in a blue moon.
I would say once multiple in a direct sun.
Once multiple blue moon.
Castillo with his 9th home run on Saturday. New career high for him. Strike called. It sounds like the Mets would like to get 4 innings out of Torres if they can. And a lot of bullpen. To Allen Hancock Junior College, Grossmont JC, San Jose State, and Kansas State. 4 schools in 4 years. I assume all the credits transferred.
What was the first one?
Allen Hancock Junior College. I
remember that one.
I've not heard of it.
Quality of his at-bats, his being Wellington Castillo, improved here of late. He's been a little more patient, working the occasional walk, and the path, the stroke has been a little shorter, a little quicker to the ball.
Check on Castro. Allen Hancock College, located in Santa Maria, California. The Bulldogs.
Well, Allen Hancock was a Bulldog. He was a grinder.
Popped him up. But again, run it out with the sun. right.
Looking, where are you, Wilmer?
Yeah, I wondered where Torres was.
Wilmer! First pitch is at 7:05. That will be thrown by Shoshi Wada. And the first 10,000 fans at the ballpark will receive a Cubs floppy hat. And that's presented by Pepsi and Jewel Osco. Cubs.com for tickets.
Look at the little guy. I'm mine. I want it. Give it to me. Sugar, please. Hendricks needed 8 pitches in the first inning, 1 strikeout along the way. Duda, Darno, Dendecker. And some Jimmy Hendricks.
Yeah, digging these Duda at bats this weekend.
The Dylan tune.
Duda, a good combination of power and patience. 21 home runs. Takes a lot of walks.
Yeah, I mentioned it yesterday. He really fits the Mets' sort of philosophical profile in terms of what they want in their hitters. Career high 21 home runs. Nate Scherholtz has agreed on a minor league deal with the Washington Nationals. He'll head to AAA Syracuse. Recently designated for assignment by the Cubs.
Chance for him to reset and things break his way, possibly get in that club in the postseason.
Yeah, the Nationals just tweeted out his career pinch hit numbers. So that Duda wondered where the heck did the ball go. It ended up going foul down the third base line as he could get a new bat. Yeah, he could end up being a valuable guy off their bench down the stretch. If they have an injury in the outfield, who knows? And the thing about it for Nate, you know, he goes from basically being an everyday player on a team that was out of contention to being in position possibly to be a part-time player on a team that goes to the playoffs. Backhanded play, Valblanc, jump throw, the stretch by Rizzo on the bag for the out. Terry Collins might challenge, but what a play on both ends.
Spectacular play on both ends. Terry Collins out to wait for the review. Here comes Valbuena from shallow center field, across the body. Look at the stretch by Rizzo. Ooh, he may have left the base. Nope.
No challenge.
No challenge.
So that is a 5-3 play. Yep.
There you go.
On the other side of the bag.
Good work, Rizzo. Man, with Gumby. Ooh. And thankfully, Duda didn't step on him. That could have been ugly for both guys.
Darno takes a cutter outside for a ball. But anyway, just to get back to Nate, if he finds a way to make the postseason roster and comes up with a couple of big hits, that kind of changes everything, doesn't it? You just don't know in this game.
It might ultimately be a statue of Nate Schierholtz in the nation's capital. You know, it's probably miscast as an everyday player. It didn't work out for him in San Francisco. So you play him, you know, give him favorable matchups. He's proven to be a good pinch hitter, really good outfielder.
Well, he's reunited with Scott Hairston. They were platoon partners at the start of last year with the Cubs. Hairston had the game-ending RBI for the Nationals yesterday. Here's Dendecker with 2 outs, nobody on. If they wanted to really do this camo uni the right way, they'd have camouflage pants too. But then you might not be able to see them at all.
Yeah. And a helmet.
Very cool. Great way to honor the military. Fair ball.
Get over.
And Hendricks kind of watching, so that'll be a hit for Dendecker. Great play by Rizzo, but nobody there to cover the bag. A 2-out hit.
A beautiful play by Rizzo. He's been spectacular here defensively in this inning, but Kyle just forgot to break, and by the time he realized that there might be a play over there, it was too late. I think his initial reaction was that's a double down the line, not realizing Rizzo was in position to make a play on that ball. But still, you have to just react. Ball on the ground, right side, go.
The Mets have been held to 4 hits in each of the first 3 games of this series. That's it.
Teams have played 6 games now this year. 4 of them decided by 1 run. Pretty much all low-scoring games.
Yeah, the last time the Cubs did this, holding the same team to 4 fewer hits in 3 straight games, 1995 at Candlestick Park against the Giants. Inside on Lagares. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hendricks is from Southern California, went to Dartmouth. Cubs minor league pitcher of the year last year. Came over in the Ryan Dempster trade July 31st, 2012. You see Dempster's quote the other day about Hendricks? I don't know how they got this kid, but fly to left. And Caesar battling the elements. Fights off the sun. Makes the catch. Excellent defensive inning by Anthony Rizzo. Scoreless after 2. Hashtag Northside fan photo for a chance to have it appear later in today's broadcast. It's brought to you by AT&T. A couple of young Matt Caesar fans. He debuted yesterday as a pinch runner, went 0 for 1. And his first start today. S-Z-C-Z-U-R. It's not Zur.
Yeah, if you'd never heard it, you would probably go Zur. It's Matt Zur.
Fifth round pick, 2010, out of Villanova. 3-1 the count on him. Good athlete. Does not hit for power, but can run. Doesn't strike out a lot. Good contact guy. Hits this one in the air out into deep right. Granderson's got it.
May have offered that ball 4 there. Might have been a little bit up and away. I understand his desire to swing the bat on 3-1.
Hendricks does a pretty good job handling the bat. Laid down 3 sacrifices. Not a situation here for that with nobody on. 2 hits and 11 tries with a run knocked in. Cutter swing and a miss. Torres' cutter has a little more movement than a lot of guys. He doesn't throw it quite as hard as many, but it's almost like a slider.
Yeah, it is a slider. He just calls it a cutter. It's a curve. Guys want to say they have a cutter because that's the kind of the in pitch. That's, to me, that's a slider. It's got depth. It's not straight across.
4th strikeout for Torres. You just tuned in and you thought Bartolo Colon was going to pitch again. Just a couple of hours before game time, we were alerted to the fact that Colon had to fly back to the Dominican Republic today. His mom is not doing well, very ill. And Torres pegged to make this start, even though he pitched in short relief yesterday. The 1-0 on Alcantara is a strike. Cubs will head home after this one. They'll start a 3-game set with the Giants tomorrow night at Wrigley Field. Giants are off today.
He's working like he's double parked. The old cliche. Gets the ball on the rubber, ready to go.
Fastball taken for strike 3. So he's fanned 5 through 3, and we're still scoreless. Up at U.S. Cellular Field. Actually, the Orioles are going to be in town all week. They play the Sox and then the Cubs this coming weekend. Tonight, game 1, 7 o'clock on Comcast Sportsnet.
You doing your Orioles homework yet? You boning up on the O's?
Getting into it a little bit.
Got this Adam Jones guy. He's pretty good.
He's pretty good. Just remember, it's Scope. Jonathan Scope.
What is?
That's how you say his last name. Scope. It's S-C-H-O-O-P. Looks like scoop or shoot, but it's Scope. But we'll go over all that before the game Friday. Torres fouls it away.
Torres is taking over as the primary shortstop here from Ruben Tejada. Tejada played yesterday, had a good game, had a couple of knocks. He's good in the field.
Well, we're getting a good look at him. He's pretty much taken over at short for Ruben Tejada, who got one start in this series. Over bouncer right to Valbuena, who backhands and throws to first in time.
Busy day for Valbuena so far. His third chance. One of them on Duda there on the shift. A real good play to start the second inning. Hendricks, when he's on his game, will get a lot of ground balls. He'll get a lot of strikeouts.
Late swing by Torres.
You look at the batting average on balls in play and the left on base percentage for Kyle Hendricks. You can expect a little regression in that earned run average. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. Wouldn't be surprised if it did.
Swing and a miss to end this at bat.
Batting average on balls in play against Kyle Hendricks is .252. League average runs a little closer to .300. Sometimes luck, sometimes it's just the ability to induce weak contact. Usually it's a combination of both. The left on base percentage, that's a stat that measures how many guys are left on base. The strand rate, his is 85%. That's way above league average. 2 indicates a little bit of good fortune. There's no guarantee he's not going to be able to pitch to this level, because to me it also indicates, you know, I've referred to him as a pitch maker. He's a guy that, you know, in certain situations knows how to pitch to a result. Needs a ground ball, he can do that. Looking for a strikeout, you know, he's got ways to do that.
He seems to have a heartbeat that's a little slower than most. Granderson, the 2-out hit. Yeah, he puts up at least the facade of a very calm, cool, and collected guy. And I don't think it's a facade. I think that's really what's going on.
Yeah, clearly, when you first come to the big leagues, there's always some jitters to deal with, but he's been able to manage that. But I think, yes, for a young guy, he is, you know, way beyond in terms of his composure out there, his mound presence. And you've seen it too with pitch selection. You know, a lot of young pitchers come to the big leagues and they just, whatever the catcher puts down, they throw. They're not willing to impose their will. he's a guy who knows what he wants to throw in a certain count, and if he has to shake the catcher off to get there, he'll do it.
Pretty deep, but playable for Alcantara to get Murphy. Well, Hendricks has given up a couple of singles, but really hasn't had the labor at all through 3.
This Wednesday, fans who have purchased tickets through the Cubs special events page will receive a special Jedi Rizzo bobblehead. A portion of the proceeds will go back to the Anthony Rizzo Family Foundation. Don't miss out on the Intergalactic Fund. The tickets are only available through Cubs.com/special events.
2, 3, and 4. Baez, Rizzo, Castro. Terry Collins has to already be very happy with what he's gotten from Torres. 3 shutout innings on 49 pitches.
Torres has got a lot of motion, side-to-side motion in his delivery. If you were a pitching coach and he was struggling, you would probably try to calm that down a little bit. And as long as the guy's able to throw strikes, you leave it alone.
Murphy ranges to his glove side. Short throw to get the hustling Baez.
He's gotten a little loose with his delivery from time to time here today and misfired. It hasn't really hurt him. He's only allowed the 1 hit, but he has that kind of exaggerated, drifting towards the first base side, then back square over the rubber.
Anthony struck out in the first. Now hitless in 11 official at bats in the series. Always a home run threat. He's got 27 on the year. Outside.
Well, here you go. Hitters count. Pull out the driver. Take the head cover off. Now that one to me is legit cutter there. The one where he throws up, moves horizontally across the zone.
Another one in the dirt, that time 3-1. The lone Cubs hit and base runner belongs to Starlin Castro, but now Rizzo is on with a 1-out free pass. Here's the pitch to Starlin. In the air, out into deep right center. Lagares cruising. He makes a catch. Rizzo all the way around second. Retags the bag. Throw to first. He's safe.
You and Rizzo having the same exact feeling there as he scrambled back ahead of that throw from Lagares. He wanted to give himself a chance to score if this ball dropped out there in deep center field, but Lagares able to run under it. Thankfully for Rizzo, his throw a little bit offline back into the infield. Played it right. He went as far as he could go and still make it back. And the key there, obviously, you have to retag the base once you go around it.
And one to Valbuena, 2 outs in the 4th. Cubs trying to earn a split before heading home and playing some postseason contenders, Giants and the Orioles.
Dodgers have lost 3 in a row while the Giants have won a couple, so they've pulled back to within 3.5 of LA out west.
Pulled on the ground into right. Rizzo will take a look at it and stop at second.
Already in scoring position there. No need to push it with 2 outs. Down the stretch they go. Cubs with pretty stout matchups the rest of the way. Everybody except for the Blue Jays within 3 games of a playoff spot. Blue Jays actually closer to first place in the East than they are the wild card. They trailed Baltimore by 7.5. The Yankees in second place in the AL East, 7 games behind Baltimore. Orioles with the biggest lead in all of baseball. How about that? I think most folks thought the Orioles might finish last in that division this year. Oh, the Reds too. The Reds are now 4.5 games back of the wild card. Been slipping a little bit. 2 games below 500 now.
Outside on a cutter. 2-2 to Ruggiano, 2 on. Best chance for either team to this point comes with 2 outs. Look at Rizzo before the pitch, and a good take by Ruggiano. Ground ball kicked literally by Torres up in the air, and everybody safe. Infield hit.
That was really fancy to hacky sack it and then go over and make the play with the bare hand, and wisely not making a throw. But after all is said and done, he would prefer to have just left this ball alone. There wasn't a lot of pace on it. Would have been a fairly easy play, I think, for Flores.
And Worthen, the pitching coach, will head on out. So bases loaded chance here. And the hitter is Castillo.
That's going to be the next drill that teams implement in spring training. They're going to hit comebackers to the pitchers, and they're just going to have them let the ball go by.
Don't do anything.
So, yeah, just don't kick the ball. Nothing good's going to happen once in a great while.
Notice you used the word drill as we were looking at a bunch of guys in camo.
Yeah.
Well done.
I like to buy into the theme of the day.
AT&T Uverse Multiview. The pitch. A little high. Was held there for an extra second by Darno, but he couldn't buy the call from Adrian Johnson. A walk and 2 singles here in the 4th inning.
I like Castillo's chances here.
Okay. I assume you meant in the at-bat, not that pitch.
In the at-bat,
okay.
He pulled off that one a little bit. Just the way he was swinging it the other day, and the fact that Torres is laboring a little bit here in the 4th. You see Buddy Carlisle getting ready. He's been red hot of late. Ooh,
another strike. 1 and 2.
Much of his chances a little bit less all of a sudden. And because that's the pitch, right? That's the one we talk about quite frequently, that 1-1. A huge difference in terms of the batting average. 2-1 versus 1-2. Torres has got him in a hole if he can execute the pitch.
On the cutter. So the Cubs strand at 3. They had Torres on the ropes there with 2 outs. Cannot score. Uber's highlights and reaction from today's game against the Mets. The Bears' first Hallis Hall practice of the season as well. All that and more coming up on Sportsnet Central tonight only on Comcast Sportsnet. about Michael Kadire, recently off the disabled list. How about the Rockies sweep? They came back in the first game. Aroldis Chapman walked, what, 9 guys to start the 9th? Actually, I think it was 4 in a row.
Did he really?
And Drew Stubbs ended up hitting the game-ending home run. Kadire with the cycle in game 2.
Down the line. It may just be. Get the second. Michael Kadire will shut it down. He's got himself a cycle. He said, I want the ball.
A pretty rare cycle in both leagues. 3 times it's been done now. Bob Watson, John Olerud, the other 2.
1-0 on David Wright.
It's a very cycle-friendly ballpark out there in Denver.
Yes, it is. They retired Todd Helton's number yesterday as well. Yeah, they scored 5 runs in the bottom of the 9th in game 1. Chapman walked 4 guys before being removed. Alcantara on the back pedal to get right. Strike called on Duda.
So in the scanner report, one of the bullet points was a first look at an advantage for Hendricks as these clubs he faces for the first time. Haven't seen him before. And obviously that diminishes a little bit as he works his way through the order a second and third time. And he's shown the ability to make adjustments as he goes along. Through Duda a first pitch fastball, and this at bat right over the heart of the plate at 88 miles an hour. And you just almost read Duda's mind thinking, wow, I was going to get a cutter or a changeup.
Right. That ball hit the deep right center. Ruggiano will watch it go. Number 22 for Duda. And the Mets out on top, 1-0. Only the 3rd homer allowed by the rookie. And this is his 7th start.
4th homer run replay. They get a good look at the intent there. You saw Castillo slide to the inside corner. They're trying to throw him that 2-seam fastball at the hip. That would work its way back to the inside corner, and he just didn't start it far enough inside. So started on the inside part of the plate and then ran back over the heart of the plate.
And a strike on d'Arnaud. Popped up behind the plate. Castillo fighting the elements.
Don't your eyes kind of start to water sympathetically for these guys?
Yes.
Having to hang in there. Those eye pops today.
Dendecker with 2 outs. Mets leading by a run after the Duda homer.
What do you mean ball?
Dendecker from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Went to the University of Florida in Gainesville. debuted last year, 27 games. This is his 25th this season. And he takes the walk. First one issued by Hendricks.
Whoop. A little out of sorts, perhaps, after the home run. Although the pitches to Dendecker were not bad pitches, just apparently out the outside corner.
Kyle has a sign to going in, and they get the desired result, a swing and a miss.
Yeah.
Dendecker safe. Javier Baez pointing into the dugout. He thinks they got him.
You could tell he was going, boy. He had a very aggressive lead, and Hendricks never made him stop. The throw was a real good one by Castillo, and oh so close at second base.
They may have gotten him really close. Quick tag. I think they got him. I think they're going to challenge. Yep.
Certainly worth looking at.
Yep. Out.
Yeah, out there.
With Baez, I've noticed early on. He's got bat speed, but he's got quick hands too out there defensively. Terrific throw by Castillo. And I think they're going to get him. In fact, I'm already writing it in. Now it's just a question of how long will it take. Not very
long.
Cue the CSN orchestra.
home run pitch. You see Hendricks missing his spot both times, got away with it the first time, and then Duda made him pay with that next fastball. But Castillo setting up inside both times, more so on the home run pitch, but swing and miss the first time, and then second time Duda all over it. And a lot of times if you miss, and I'm sure that's what Castillo was thinking, other than the fact that that's just their game plan to make that pitch in there on him. But that's the best time to make the adjustment, right after you throw it. You know, if you hang a breaking ball, and sometimes just call another one. That's when you're most likely to make the adjustment and make the better pitch.
Caesar rolls to short. Flores gets rid of it quickly and got him at first.
Tomorrow begins the 1990s decade homestand celebration. This Friday, 120 game with the Orioles, and the first 10,000 fans 21 years of age and over at the ballpark will receive a Kerry Wood 20 strikeout bobblehead presented by Budweiser. Tickets are still available, so visit Cubs.com.
One ball, no strikes on Hendricks. Flies to Lagares.
Well, if Terry Collins was happy for Torres to get into and through the fourth, he's got to be ecstatic with him working 2 outs, nobody on in the fifth. And if he gets this final out, he will qualify for a win. Whether he does or not, this has to be his last inning, you would think. Whoa. What was Uke's character's name in the Major League?
Harry Doyle. Just a bit outside. The 1-0 on the way. Well, now Terry Collins is thinking, okay, Torres probably volunteered to start. He's in his fifth inning of work. He's got a 1-0 lead. I want to get him a win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's always the challenge for a manager. You want to take care of individual players, but you know the big picture is you got to win the ball game. Surprised he threw the cutter on 2-0. Maybe he just feels there's a better chance of finding the strike zone with that than he does the straight fastball. But here comes another one. Swing it this time, Arizmendi. Not committed there late on the 3-1 fastball, and you're going through a patch like he is where he's taking fastballs, swinging at changeups. I think Ricky Renteria, Billy Miller down there in the Cubs dugout are hoping that he'd be aggressive in these fastball counts. Go ahead, 2-0, 3-1. Be ready to hit.
Fouled away. He walked him.
Well, here comes Dan Warthen. That's good news for Torres. If it were Collins, he'd probably think, uh-oh, he's going to take me out of here. So this is a really interesting situation. If Torres walks Baez, he's probably out of the ball game. Doesn't qualify for the win.
But if he goes after him, he might give up a 2-run homer.
Yeah, he's Javi walked twice in the ball game yesterday, his first 2 walks since coming to the big leagues.
Team with 3 hits, but the one that has counted the most has been the Duda home run. Torres also thinking, if I can pick off Alcantara, I don't have to face Baez. Pretty good lead over there by Alcantara. Another throw.
Well, here we go. We're at that moment, right, where Torres has to decide how aggressive he wants to be with Baez. You know, the book on Baez, of course, is that he'll chase out of the zone, but he hasn't. First 2 pitches in this sequence. So has he convinced Torres that he's seeing the ball well, and does he have to challenge him in the zone?
In the hole, the throw is going to be in time.
Wow, here comes Ricky Renteria.
Yeah.
We're going to have another review here, I think. Baez runs well. I didn't think Flores was going to be able to get him.
I didn't either. Wow. The out was called, so to get it overturned, there has to be definitive evidence that he was safe, and that's really close. I thought with a naked eye, the first shot, he was clearly safe, and on replay, way closer than I thought.
Yeah.
And they are going to challenge. 2 challenges.
Boy, that's tough. Wow, that took no time at all.
I was just going to say this review might take longer than the last one, and it didn't. That might have been the quickest one we've had. So that's it. Ricky Renteria loses more challenge maneuvers, although he can make suggestions once we get into the 7th. What a play. Curveball strike on Lagares. Some laser quick replays, and I think the main reason, I'd like to say because we're in New York, that's where the replay center is. It has nothing to do with it, as Hendricks gets Lagares. But we were talking to Ricky the other day about going to the replay center. This is the only game currently going on in the big leagues, JD. So however many people are staffed for the day's action, they're all pretty much watching this, and they do anticipate when they might see close play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they'll gather together and take a quick look. But see, to me, that call right there, that's how I thought replay would be implemented throughout the season. And on those bangers, they would just make a quick call stands decision because it's so difficult to tell one way or the other. So that, the play on the field would normally stand unless it was a clear look that they had missed it. But I've been wrong. That bang bang play at first base has been replayed over and over and over again in many of our games. What was that one? What, 10 seconds?
That's the shortest one we've seen, I think. I didn't hear how long it was.
I think officially they said 20-some seconds. I don't know when they start the clock. It's when the manager first says I want to look at it, or is it when they put the headphones on? 28 seconds. Could be a record. You might have seen a little history here today, folks. And that's what Ricky was wondering, if MLB would do seminars next spring and talk about what the expectation is and what they're looking at, so that the players, the people, the personnel that are in the clubhouse reviewing the video have a better idea of what's going on back in New York. This Saturday, the Cubs play the Orioles. First pitch is at 1:20. First 10,000 fans at the ballpark will receive a Wrigley Field tote bag. You don't have to make a pledge. You just have to buy a ticket and be one of the first 10,000 fans at the ballpark. That's brought to you by Starwood. Tickets are still available, so visit Cubs.com.
John Neese, starting pitcher, we saw him the other day. He will hit for Torres. I mentioned he's not a great hitter, but he does take walks. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the pitch. It's a sinker in there, 1-1.
At 2 outs, nobody on. Unlikely that the Mets are going to build an inning here, so Terry Collins saves his bench players. Making this move to the bullpen, obviously. He's going to have pinch hitters available to hit for his relievers. Really, in the modern game, typically you don't get much more than 6 innings out of your starting pitcher anyway. So Torres doing a great job here today, saving his mates out there in the pen.
Bouncer to Rizzo. And the inning comes to an end. The 1-2-3 inning, all ground outs for Hendricks, trailing 1-0.
which may include visits to the press box, clubhouses, dugouts, and perhaps a chance to actually step on the field. Now, this must-see Chicago attraction houses 100 years of history for game days and non-game day.
Take two.
For game days and non-game day schedules, or to book your tour, visit Cubs.com/tours today. We can't promise you a helicopter ride over Manhattan.
We can edit that together. It'll sound great on the replay later tonight. We have people for that.
Fix that down there.
We call that post-production.
That won't be, you won't hear that on the replay. You'll only hear that live. That's why you want to be watching live. You'll miss the magic.
Dana Eveland.
There's a lot of sliders. Two-seam fastball. Gets a lot of ground balls. The journeyman has been around since 2005 when he came up with the Brewers.
Broke his bat, but the ball will land safely and go to the corner. Rizzo on his way to second. Tying run is there with nobody out.
Strong young man there, even with a broken bat, able to get this ball all the way to the wall in right field.
First hit of the series for Rizzo.
Second reach today, walked in the fourth. This is a leadoff double. This is a must cash in situation for the Cubs now. The guys in the back end of this Mets bullpen have been pretty impressive lately. Familia for sure has.
Eveland is 30. 6'1", 235. Born in Washington, went to Palmdale High School in Palmdale, California. Debuted with Milwaukee in 05. Parts of 9 seasons now in the big leagues. He's bounced around a lot. Outside that time. Torres was terrific. 5 shutout innings on 3 hits. He walked 2, struck out 6. A reliever forced to make an emergency start today. 86 pitches. 48 were strikes, and he made the most of them.
Mets bullpen in this series has worked 7 innings, allowed 1 run, and 1 run, the game-winning home run that Castro hit off of Mejia yesterday. They walked only 1, allowed just a couple of hits, struck out 9.
Buena on deck. 3-2 on Castro. Rizzo doubled to start the inning. And Castro got caught in between and strikes out.
And you see where that front side goes. It's kind of leaking. And just not much left there. Defensive half swing to try to get that backdoor breaking ball.
Here comes Valbuena. He's 1 out of 2. Cleveland has made a fair amount of starts in his career. Back in 08 with Oakland, he made 29 starts. This is his 25th appearance with the Mets this season, all in relief.
The other day, Jed Hoyer was asked about all the strikeouts from the Cub hitters here lately, and he said, "Yeah, we're going to, as long as we got guys that do damage, we're going to strike out." He wants to see an improvement in the situational approach. And Castro at bat, a pretty good example there, where just a little contact to the right side gets Rizzo to third base.
And with Starlin, you'd think that's a really good matchup there, just to
shorten the stroke and try to
put that ball into right.
Hit it hard the other way. And it's not easy. It's a tough game. A lot of times, you don't focus so much on the result. You just want to see the right approach. That the guy's thinking the right way.
Base hit right field. Rizzo had to freeze on the liner to make sure it got through. Gary Jones is sending him. He is safe. Valbuena ties it on an RBI single. It's 1-1.
Valbuena, after a tough go, getting off the deck, 2 hits today. And this one ties the ball game.
Bring out Terry Collins. And he will make a change. Evelyn faces 3, gives up 2 hits and a run. We're tied at 1, and we'll be back.
Well, 13 games with the Mets this year, and he's been really, really good. An ERA of .55. 15 strikeouts and 16 1/3. He's walked 3. Hasn't given up a long ball yet. Second appearance in this series. He worked a scoreless 9th on Saturday. Had a couple of strikeouts.
Well, Bueno the runner at first. And Ruziano fouls up near our broadcast position. 0-1. No decision for Torres.
But he'll get some nice parting gifts. A solid effort. A really good effort. You know, that's, you know, you pitch 5 innings, and again, this is a guy coming out of the bullpen, so you would expect no more from him. He kind of went above and beyond. But as a starting pitcher, if you go 5 and leave with a 1-run lead, you don't really expect to win that game. You hope you pick up the W, but you don't expect it. That's a lot of work for the bullpen to do. Carlisle, 36 years of age, came to the big leagues for the first time with the Padres back in 1999 as a starting pitcher. That was the beginning of a long odyssey.
Hasn't allowed a run since July 8th. And that's the only run he's allowed so far this year in over 16 innings.
Called up on July 26th, was also here from the 6th through the 23rd of July, and then end of May through June 5th. Been up and down.
He strikes out Ruggiano 2 away.
It's a high risk, high reward pitch with Ruggiano, as we've seen in this series. They'll get swings and misses up there, but hit a bomb to straightaway center field on a high fastball the other day.
Rizzo doubled to start the inning. Castro fanned, but then Valbuena knocked in Rizzo. Another strikeout. Carlisle on Ruggiano. A 1-1 count on Castillo.
That's the second ball that's come right in front of us down here. It's kind of fun to watch these guys. They're arguing as to who made the error. They're all pointing fingers at each other. Nobody's been able to make the play yet.
In the air, Granderson on the move over near the line, and he makes the play to end the inning. But the Cubs tie it up on the Valbuena RBI single. It's 1-1 in the 6th. Off a 3-gamer with the San Francisco Giants. Pitching matchup, Ryan Vogelsong, a right-hander for the Giants. Left-hander Tsuyoshi Wada for the Cubs. 7 o'clock Central, right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Kyle Hendricks back in the game, 1-1. Facing the top of the order, going through this lineup now for the 3rd time. Hendricks has gone deep into games because of an efficient pitch count. He's gone over 100 pitches just twice in his first 6 career starts, yet he's gone at least 6 innings in every start. He's gone at least 7 in 4 of the 6. And here's 1-2. Lifted in the air out into center. Alcantara froze at first, now has to come way in, and he makes the grab.
Boy, good execution of a pitch sequence there by Hendricks. Breaking ball to get started, and a couple good changeups. One in the zone for strike 2, and then a better changeup down that got this swing. See number 4 there in our Honda pitch tracks. Caught him out in front a little bit. It's a lazy fly ball.
Pulled foul by Murphy. Chopper over the mound, but not past Castro. Going to turn the phantom double play. Ball took him right to second. Only counts as 1 out, though.
Guys just practicing it.
Stephen Hoffman with a really interesting question on Twitter to us. What count during the at-bat does a pitcher employ as, quote, get better out pitch? Obviously, with 2 strikes, a lot of guys are trying to strike people out. I think sinker ballers like Hendricks, they love their out pitch to be the first pitch. Not necessarily setting them up for a deep count. So I guess it depends, right?
Yeah. I think it depends on the style of pitcher. Guys that pitch to contact. For me, Hendricks, his out pitch is his changeup. Because I think that's the pitch that makes everything else better in his arsenal.
Rizzo makes a catch. Ho hum. 1, 2, 3. Quickly done by Hendricks. 1-1.
Services on night and weekend games. The remote parking lot is located at 3900 North Rockwell. For details, visit Cubs.com. So we're last half inning there. We were answering Stephen's question about when does a pitcher employ his quote-unquote out-pitch. I think it's kind of all over the map. But, a lot of pitching coaches stress trying to get out to the first 3 pitches. On average, that doesn't happen, right? Plate appearances last longer than that. But to me, the attack pitch should be 1 and 2. And if you get the jump on the hitter, go 0-2. I get go ahead and with certain hitters, just throw one off the plate, see if he'll chase. But the hitter's still vulnerable. So to me, that's when you want to put him away on that 1-2. Don't let him back into the count.
Caesar lifts in the air to center, and again the sun. These noon starts. A little tricky on balls in the air. Lagares with the catch.
And the guys with the really good stuff, sometimes it's tough to identify their out pitch. We've talked about that a lot with Arrieta this year. You talk to hitters on opposing teams, and a lot of them are going to say, well, that slider. You talk to the Mets, they're going to tell you that curveball was nasty yesterday. And you can't discount a guy who throws his fastball 94, 95 miles an hour.
One and one on Hendricks, the pitch maker. And now Carlisle's the one making pitches. Third hurler for the Mets. Torres, Eveland, and Carlisle. That is a strike painted on the outside corner. Well, Hendricks not happy that he's out. I'm sure at least can appreciate the pitch Carlisle made.
Yeah, just wants to make sure when he's out there that he gets the same call. But good pitch, well placed, a good call. Adrian Johnson's done a nice job back there today.
A little high. It's 2-0. Well, he's got this, let's call it secret power. But when you look at him and you don't see him play a lot, you wouldn't expect him to have the home run power that he does possess. He gets a mistake here. And he did. I don't know if he got a mistake, but he let loose on it, got under it, and flies out. So Alcantara makes the third out, middle of the 7th, 1-1. Fan photo of the game. Brought to you by AT&T. And send your photos to hashtag NorthsideFanPhoto for an upcoming broadcast. Flavored ice.
I like the purple ice.
Hendricks facing Duda, who took him deep his last time up for the Mets lone tally.
You prefer vanilla ice.
I've seen vanilla ice. It's okay. When in doubt, I do order vanilla ice cream.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm criticized for it all the time,
Really?
but it is the basis of everything good about dessert. In my humble opinion.
Power sinker there, trying to stay away from Duda. Last time they were trying to sneak a two-seamer over the inside corner on him, and it leaked out over the plate, and he hit it out of here.
Outside for a ball, 3-1. Duda laid off on that pitch, and that's what makes him a good hitter.
Yeah, one, he's patient to begin with, and then knowing the game situation, tie game in the 7th inning, he knows that they're going to be very careful with him here. The other guys would have gotten a little greedy, tried to go after a pitch, gotten themselves out. Neil Ramirez, the right-hander, Wesley Wright, the lefty.
Catcher Darno. They have the leadoff man on for the first time today.
The numbers you just looked at on Darno, not impressive, but since returning from AAA, he's been maybe their best hitter. 273 average, 7 home runs, 21 driven in.
Strike called.
.306 with 3 home runs over his last 10 ball games.
Pulled foul past Tim Tuffle down at third. And again, Hendricks working into the late innings. Inside for a ball.
Let's see, we talked about when you attack a hitter, up and in there on 0-2, so he's got options, right? He can go cutter away, he can double up with an inside fastball. He may be thinking that if you can jam him with a two-seamer, that could be a ground ball to the left side, possibly a double play ball.
Pitch was up a little bit, but he's going to get an out as Ruggiano hauls it in to get Darno.
And mistakes that you pay for in this game and mistakes you get away with. That time he got away with one. Castillo's really focusing and trying to get that breaking ball down. He drifts up to the top of the strike zone.
Bendecker fouls.
If this were the 9th inning, Terry Collins probably would have ran for Duda. It was the 8th inning. Pretty good chance he'd run for him. 7th inning, probably a little early. Duda's place in the batting order likely comes around again. He's their obviously the biggest home run threat.
Swing and a miss, 0-2. Got him on the changeup for strike 3. It's his first strikeout in a while. Let's see, Nice, right? Should have back in the
Torres.
Or Torres, I mean, back in the 3rd inning. Yeah.
It's the 3rd of the ball game. A beautiful changeup, drifting down and away. You see that action a lot from left-handed hitters off Hendricks. Just fighting to try to stay in there. They know they've been had. They're just trying to keep the hands in there to get a piece. Pretty good pitch, maybe a little bit outside.
Sharply hit on the ground. Diving stop. Castro the flip to Baez, and the inning is over. Starlin has had a great defensive series here in New York. Takes away a hit there, and we'll go to the 8th and a tie. Luis Valbuena with that jump throw to get Duda back in the 2nd inning.
And Valbuena, because he has played all over the infield, you feel comfortable when you shift him, move him around to the right side. Feel like he can make all the plays there. Very nice play on his end, and Rizzo with that stretch, just outstanding work.
Now the goal is to get a run here. And now Hendricks could be done. He's at 94 pitches through 7. It'd be nice to get him in position for a win today, after Arrieta got a tough no decision yesterday. I think one question, assuming pitcher spot doesn't come up later, and if it does, Cubs probably will have already taken the lead. With a rookie pitcher, JD, kind of getting late into his season. He's been pretty efficient in the big leagues. You've got 7 terrific innings out of him, 94 pitches. Could you give him another inning? Yes. Would you like to maybe push him and see what he's got? Yeah, you could see that. But then you say, it's risk reward. How much do you want to push a young pitcher on a day like this?
Right, and the other thinking is, well, we could go a batter at a time with him, send him out there, but as soon as somebody were to reach, you would go get him, and so then the thinking shifts to the guy in the bullpen. Would you rather just give that guy a clean start out there with nobody on base?
Right. These are all discussions. Manager and the pitching coach have all the time in the dugout, at least with themselves. We'll see.
Yeah, for me, if he were at the top or the middle of the order, I would probably definitely make the pitching change. The fact that they're at the 8-hole due to lead off the inning, I might be tempted to send him back out there.
2-2. It's full on Baez.
Or you could send him out there to, pitch to Flores and then just react to whoever Terry Collins uses as a pinch hitter.
Does the score matter?
Yeah, score always matters.
But I mean, if you're ahead 2-1 versus still tied at 1, does that affect your thinking about the starter?
And I think a lot of it depends on, you're always in the back of the manager's mind, he's always concerned about the long extra inning game.
Baez, like a lot of hitters in this series, wanted an appeal and didn't get one. Adrian Johnson made the call from behind the plate on the swing.
Hard to tell from that angle. We'll get a better look here. There's so much going on. There's so much momentum in his swing. It looked to me like he was okay.
This should be definitive.
It always looks like a swing, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And looks like Neil Ramirez is still throwing in the pen. So I'm guessing the decision to make the move has been made.
In her third and a strike to Rizzo. Carlisle's been terrific. He's faced 6. He's retired all of them. 3 on strikeouts. That ball hammered. It is gone. Cubs lead 2-1. Number 28 for Anthony Rizzo.
It had been a tough series for him until today. Walk, double, home run, last 3 trips to the plate. A laser beam of a home run, and the Cubs have the lead. So it was the 9th inning home run for Castro yesterday that provides the winning margin. Now Rizzo looking to do the same here today. That was a beautiful swing of the bat. Didn't take long to get out of here. Here's your Ford home run replay. Oh, man.
Good sound off the bat and a great result. Meantime, a strike on Castro. So the Cubs winners 2-1 yesterday, as JD mentioned, on Castro's homer in the 9th. They do it an inning earlier. So now Hendricks can get the win. And I think the discussion we just had about whether or not he's coming out, I think he's coming out.
Yes.
Three straight misses after the first pitch, which was a strike. Ball 4. Carlisle had his scoreless streak up over 13 innings before that home run. And again, I go back to what happened before the game with Bartolo Colon having to leave due to a family emergency. Even though the Mets are trailing 2-1 here in the 8th inning, if you'd mapped out their pitching today, I think Terry Collins still would have taken exactly what has happened.
Oh, God, yeah. I mean, his greatest fear was that Torres goes out there and really struggles, only gives him 2 1/3. And he's just got to piece it together the rest of the way. Not only would that create a problem for this game, but the next couple of days. They do catch a little bit of a break. Well, they caught a break because of the way Torres performed. They go to Oakland after the ball game today, play 2 there, have an off day. So that'll give their pen a chance to recover.
Buena fouls. Go ahead RBI yesterday, and the game tied today.
Cubs' next off day comes next Monday after the Baltimore series.
To center and a base hit. On an 0-2, Valbuena with his 3rd hit in his last 3 at bats. That's good to see. They've been really struggling.
Yeah, nice easy swing at that pitch. And that's going to do it for Carlisle. Smooth pass at it. And 3-hit day.
Kurt Neuenhuis is coming in for Dendecker, part of a double switch. And we'll get you the new Mets pitcher when we return. Cubs leading now, the Rizzo homer. Order. And right-hander Vic Black will do the pitching. 2 on with 1 out and a run in.
Yeah, Vic Black's Done a nice job so far in this series. For the year, he's got an ERA of 2.05, striking out pretty much a man per inning. He's allowed just the 1 home run. Came in with the bases loaded the other day. Nobody out and prevented the Cubs from scoring. You feel like you're playing the Dutch national team when Nieuwenhuis replaces Den Dekker in left field?
Castro, the lead runner at second. Valbuena is at first. Black has been very good at stranding inherited runners. $19 in a row. He has kept from scoring to this point.
.95 with life up in the zone there. Basically a 2-pitch pitcher, fastball, curveball.
One and two on Ruggiano. Austin, Texas native. First year with the Cubs. The pitch. Laid off the breaking ball.
Black has a very abrupt, explosive delivery. You got to be ready to hit that fastball. I think that breaking pitch in that situation, I think it's just a matter of you got to be ready to hit the heater, so you take the breaking ball and just hope he misses.
And he got him. 95. And a swing and a miss, 2 outs.
Challenged him with a good heater right through there, and Justin just not able to catch up.
Castillo held up. The Marlins yesterday beat the Diamondbacks to get their 62nd victory. That's what they had all of last year. They went 62-100. This year they're right at the 500 mark. I do not expect them to lose their last 38 games.
No, probably not. It's a team worth keeping an eye on going forward. You get Jose Fernandez back next year. You got some really good young pitching. Watch out.
Two and one on Castillo. That gets by the catcher Darno, and the runners advance.
Trying to locate down and away, just overcooks it a little bit. Darno not able to catch it. Pass ball.
Passed ball is not an error, but it is treated as such in terms of figuring out earned runs. And the walk to Lodum. Looks like Caesar will be called back to the dugout. Chris Coughlin's going to hit for him.
Much to the chagrin of the Caesar family and friends in attendance here to watch him play today, but obviously this is a prudent decision. There's the frustration. Give him a chance. Chris Coughlin having a real nice year. You got the left-handed bat coming in against the hard-throwing right-hander.
You know what they did? They left the Caesar on the side. By the way, I had a great Caesar salad last night. One of the best I've ever had.
And it's hard for a Caesar salad to rise above other Caesar salads because most of them are about the same, right?
Yeah. Last night's was terrific.
His family and friends there we had a shot of. They're wearing Hail Caesar t-shirts.
We went to Il Vagabondo in Manhattan. It was great.
Have to come off that bench and contend with 96 miles an hour, and they, made all the points why it made sense to use Coughlin, but that's the other part of it. This pinch hitting gig is not easy, even for a good contact guy like Coughlin to come off the bench cold, try to catch up to 96. That's a big challenge. Those are good pinch hit numbers right there. As a team, the Cubs this year well below 200 off the bench.
Bouncer to Murphy. And the Cubs strand 3 for the second time today, but they have a 2-1 lead. Anthony Rizzo with a line shot homer. Heading back home, they've already taken the season series, winning 4 of the first 6. Coughlin stays in and plays left. Here's hard-throwing Neil Ramirez.
8-9-1 due up for the Mets. Ramirez enters this ball game with a 1.21 ERA. Big strikeout numbers. He's allowed just 2 home runs. Oh, here we go again. Another 1-run game. They've already played 4 of these 2 clubs.
Flores has bounced to third twice in this game. 1 for 7 in the series with a couple knocked in. From the stretch, Ramirez with the fastball at 94 for a strike. Hendricks 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 run. A homer by Duda. 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. ERA at 1.66.
Pretty impressive stuff, isn't it?
That's went 3 for 23 against him today. So that opponent's batting average 208 against a guy who rarely touches 90. He's had really 1 bad inning, and it was the first inning of his career. He got squeezed a little bit. And once he got through that, he has been lights out. The other way, Ruggiano going after it. He makes a catch. That ball took off on him.
Torres, one of those guys, very tall, upright in the batter's box, drops the head of the bat on the ball when it's down in the zone, and surprising power the other way there delivered by Flores, but Ruggiano runs it down. Get that leading lady. Well, you had to figure that Hendricks was likely going to pitch well here today or have good results. I mean, he's been pitching against some really good lineups and shutting them down. He comes in here against his struggling Met club in this big ballpark, and odds were that he would pitch well, but sometimes, you know, the odds don't matter. But again, it's like he's been here for a decade.
Remember, Ramirez had been sent down to AAA Iowa just to kind of get a breather, but then shortly after that was placed on the big league disabled list. Swing and a miss, 1-2. DL stint due to sore right triceps. And he got him. 2 down.
And they climb the ladder with fastballs above the hands, overmatching, doing ice for out number 2.
This is his 3rd appearance since coming back.
Hendricks and Met hitters had to concern themselves with change of speed, location, and movement. With Ramirez, they're dealing with power.
2-1 to Granderson. 1 for 3 today. He's 3 for his last 33 overall. Kick, the 1-2, a swing and a miss. Mets go 1-2-3, couple of strikeouts for the rookie Ramirez, and it'll take us into the night. Cubs 2, Mets 1.
This is the top of the ninth yesterday. The first pitch Starlin Castro sees off Henry Mejia. He hits into the seats. That proves to be a game winner. This afternoon, Anthony Rizzo, who had struggled this weekend in New York, off Buddy Carlisle. That's a go-ahead home run. Will it be a game winner? Stay tuned. Mejia, who gave up that home run to Castro. He's their closer, but he comes in here. A game in which his club is trailing. 5-6, 386 ERA, 18 saves and 21 tries.
Felt like a Batman teaser.
That's exactly where I was going.
60s.
Same bad channel.
Ryan Sweeney. The pitcher's spot. That is a strike. Good stretch here for the veteran. Sweeney hitting .405 in his last 13 games. Outside for a ball, 1-1. Ground ball up the middle into center. That's a base hit.
Chance to play add-on here. Sweeney, good solid single up the middle on the Mejia breaking ball. Ricky Renteria chooses to play it.
There's a closer, Rondon.
We know how he's going to play the bottom of the ninth. bunt, square early and bunt it. But maybe he's not going to bunt. Maybe he's just looking at one.
But foul.
To me, he's late getting set. He's got to square. You know, this is a situation. If the sacrifice is on, you're not trying to fool anybody. You just need to square a little bit earlier. So he's upright as that pitch is on him, and then he moves the legs at the last minute. He has to get into a more athletic bunting stance earlier on.
Popped into shallow center. This time grabbed by Lagares.
Fans, follow every Cubs game with MLB.com at bat on your favorite mobile phone or tablet. Get live look-ins, instant replay, scores, stats, audio, free MLB.tv game of the day, and more. Download on the App Store or visit Cubs.com.
Well, good news on Chris Bryant. He's got a bruise on his left foot near the big toe. So just kind of a day-to-day thing. They're kind of holding their breath as they have that MRI. Contusion is kind of the fancy word for bruise. High and deep, Javier Baez gone into the upper deck. They've got three of them here. He hit it into the second level for a two-run homer.
Would you say that ball has a contusion?
He contused it.
He contused the heck out of it. He had been quiet up until that swing of the bat here today. A couple of ground outs, a couple of punch outs, but the potential is always there. Load and go.
That is a big bite out of the Big Apple. Four to one. Mejia has given up homers the last 2 days. Castro yesterday and Baez today. Rizzo clubs one foul. Rizzo homered off Carlisle to give the Cubs the lead.
Cubs with 5 home runs in this series. Saturday game, Ruggiano and Castillo both went deep.
In the dirt. 3-2. Fastball hit a ton, but foul.
He's not really tricking anybody.
He squared him up in that at bat. Results in an 0 for 1, but
Duda may have caught that ball with his bare hand as much as he did with his glove. Looks like he should be in a duck blind.
the end of the bat, skied to left center. And it's caught by Lagares. Boy, he's still buzzing in this ballpark. Rookie Javier Baez put a charge into this one, a 2-run homer, and the Cubs lead by 3 in the ninth. Shield. Get the recap of today's game and all the action around the league. Don't miss Cubs post-game live right after the ball game.
Well, the Baez home run provides a little cushion for Hector Rondon as he comes in for the 49th time in pursuit of his 18th save. Number 17 came yesterday. That was protecting a 1-run lead, but he did so in 1-2-3 fashion with a strikeout. Needed just 14 pitches to get it done. That was his first appearance in this weekend set with the Mets. So he should be plenty strong here as he works on back-to-back days. Mets have had exactly 4 hits in the first 3 games of this series.
Only 3 today.
Sitting on 3.
Amazing. And they've already won 2. 1 ball, no strikes. Oh! 1-1, 97 on the fastball. We saw Rondon this weekend at 99 on a couple pitches. Sliced foul to left. According to Baseball Reference, Javier Baez and Jason Kipnis are the only players in the last century to hit at least 5 homers in their first 14 career games playing second base. Slider, and Murphy laid off. Fouled back.
He struck out a few times in this series, but generally a tough guy to finish off. Makes a lot of contact.
In the right center. Well, at least he made him earn his way on with the extra bases, which is not a big deal. A 3-run lead here would have been a huge deal if it had been a 1-run lead.
First hit of the day for Murphy, and there you go. The Mets now have 4 hits.
Murphy's 34th double. What Castillo said to Rondon, but a decent chance part of the conversation was forget about Murphy. He's irrelevant.
Yep. Pitch like nobody's on base. This becomes really a critical confrontation here with Duda on deck. I want to give Duda a chance to tie the ball game.
Foul tip, strike 2, 1-2.
I believe this is the Mets' first at bat with a man in scoring position today.
You are correct.
Kyle Hendricks allowed just 3 hits in 7 innings. He walked a couple, struck out 3. Neil Ramirez, 1 scoreless with a couple of punch outs. Rondon's made a little adjustment on his slider. He's swinging harder here of late. Wright has really struggled against right-handed pitching this year. Could have been.
Was that close?
Yeah, it was.
Wright buckled a little bit. 3-2.
5 there on your pitch tracks. Could have gone either way.
That's a great look. How did he not swing at it? Swung at that one and he missed it. 1 away.
97 with life in, running in on David Wright. Wow, look at the movement on that pitch. You figure you're going to sacrifice some velocity to get that kind of movement, but that's 97-mile-an-hour two-seamer.
Duda retired on a terrific play by Valbuena and Rizzo, and he homered, and then he walked. So he's 2 for 9 in the series with 6 walks, a home run, and 3 runs scored.
Wright reaches, highly unlikely that Rondon is as aggressive with Duda as he is in this situation. And that's exactly what he should be doing with a 3-run lead.
D'Arnaud on deck. Duda trying to find a way to get on base and get that tying run to the dish. Alcantara just onto the warning track. Murphy tags. 2 outs here in the ninth. It's d'Arnaud. Looks like Eric Campbell is on deck as a pinch hitter in the pitcher spot if d'Arnaud gets on. And it would be the tying run. Cut and a miss. Seven o'clock tomorrow night here on CSN. Giants and Cubs 0-2.
Not like Rondon's trying to hit a spot. He's just reaching back and throwing 97, and d'Arnaud for the first 2 completely overmatched.
Here it comes. Strike 3 call. Cubs win. Cubs win. Rondon gives up the leadoff double, but then retires the next 3. Baez adding insurance with a 2-run homer, and our GMC player of the game is Anthony Rizzo. A 4-1 win as the Cubs hold the Mets to 4 hits again. How about that?
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. Kind of fun that they got that hit in the ninth. I don't know if I've seen that before. 4-game series where one club gets exactly 4 hits in every game. But on to the bigger story. Anthony Rizzo, our player of the game. And why not? How about the play defensively, helping out Valbuena